You're listening to Popcorn and Politics. What's the real deal? Hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney and Derek J. Wilson. Asking the hard-hitting questions you want answers to. From political leaders and political hopefuls from around the world.
Welcome to another edition of Popcorn and Politics. I'm your host, Audrey Bell Kearney, along with my co-host, Derek J. Wilson.
How y'all doing today?
Hope you're having a wonderful day. Listen, we got a good show for y'all today. But before we do that, Derek, let's give them a little preview about what's coming up in 2022 because we got a nice guest list coming up for y'all. So I just want to give you the rundown real quick. So January 23rd, Donna McLeod, she's running for House Representative. What is it? Congress
7. So state representative, Georgia State Representative Donna McLeod, who's running for U.S. Congress. District 7, who is also running against Caroline Bardot, who is the current District 7 host, and then Lucy Macbeth, who is the current District 6 seat holder. So is that seat is a huge race here in Georgia.
Huge. So that's January 23rd. So be sure to tune in 1 p.m. January 23rd. On January 30th, we have Matthew Wilson, who is running for the insurance commissioner for the state of Georgia. So make sure to tune in on January 30th at 1 p.m. Yes, we got a packed house, y'all. We got a packed house. On February the 6th, we got Solicitor General Brian Whiteside, who is running for re-election. So you want to join us live for that one. Gwinnett County Solicitor General. On February the 13th, we got Lisa Marie Bristol, who's running against Brian for that seat. So you want to join us for that one as well. And on my birthday, I can't even believe I'm doing the show on my birthday. So my birthday, February 20th, we got Nicole Horn, who's running for the labor commissioner for the state of Georgia. So we got some great guests coming up, and we're going to continuously add to that platform, to that roster of great guests. So you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss the episode, but if you do, every episode is recorded, so you can go back and watch it on demand by going to Popcorn and Politics. So, but nothing like being there live because you can ask your questions by leaving comments in the comment section. So, we are streaming live every Sunday at 1 p.m. on American One Radio. I'm screwing it up. American One Radio, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Roku, and Twitter. So we're streaming live on all of those platforms. So if you do miss an episode, you can always go back to Popcorn and Politics and watch past episodes there. So now, without further ado, let's get on with the show.
Yes. Well, we're going to start off on a somber note. For those of you who have not been watching the news or heard the news, former U.S. Senator, Georgia U.S. Senator Johnny Isaacson died today at the age of 76. He is the former Republican senator who held the seat that was once held by Lori Loeffler that lost to the current Senator Warnock. So, give our condolences to him and his family. But yeah, that's a sad moment here in Georgia history, and it's relevant because again, he held the seat that's currently. So Senator Warnock is basically finishing out his Senator Johnny Isaacson's term, and so that's why that's relevant for today, since we're going to dive in and talk about U.S. Senator Warnock and his race, and I'll let you carry the torch for that one because that's an interesting race.
This is going to be an interesting race all around, Derek, because Herschel Walker is running against Raphael Warnock for that seat, and so already out the gate, there's already some discrepancies about some things like him graduating from UGA. And you know what? So when I was reading all this stuff, I said, okay, so he's gone back and he's retracted some things, but here's the problem with that. It's out there everywhere. It's on Amazon in your bio. It is everywhere. Did you not think people were going to fact check? One thing I could say that I've learned about just following politics is that when you put your hat in the ring, just know that they are going to go and dig deep to find stuff, especially in a race like that race. So did you not think that people are going to do the due diligence and look into everything you're saying because you're in a political race? So it's out there everywhere that he graduated UGA. So you
Yeah,
know,
which is interesting, but I think the Republicans is gonna ignore it, move past it, try to move past it as much as possible. Although the other Republicans that are running against him in a primary are definitely using it and said that's just another uh, notch on a long list of the reasons why they feel like he cannot beat Senator Warnock. I personally do not think any one of them, any a Republican can beat Warnock, but it will be interesting to see. You know, as a Democrat, I feel like Warnock has been very progressive in his stances against certain things and for things when it come down to the him being in the Congress as well as him being beneficial to Georgia. You know, uh, him and what's the other one? What's the other senator name? Is on the tip of my tongue. Ossoff. Him and Ossoff have been very beneficial to the Joe Biden administration by trying to push these things through. I really wish Warnock can get that voters' rights bill pushed through, and we need to get rid of the filibuster.
yeah,
The filibuster is was slowing us down, and it's amazing how Democrats always play by the rules, play by the book, and when the Republicans are in charge, it's like what rules, what book,
right,
you know,
right.
and that's what's frustrating. I know we're supposed to be above. We're not supposed to stoop down to their levels and their shenanigans, but I mean, how many times they gonna show their colors and you're not gonna like when a Republicans in power and they do any and everything they want. They push their agendas through with no problems.
Yeah,
Only time in modern history we done that was when Obama was in office with healthcare.
yeah.
I can't think of any other time in modern history that we just push things through without trying to I guess be bipartisan, which bipartisan has its place and time. But if we're trying to correct and fix some of the issues that the previous administration had put in place, we need to move just like they moved
Well, Derek,
swiftly.
swiftly, but we drag our feet. We want to play by the rules. We don't want to play hard. They play hardball. They play for keeps, and they don't care who they step on each other. We know that already.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
play for keeps. They will step on their mothers and their kids to get to where they got to go. We don't do that. We want to
not that
play.
much.
We want to play fair. We want to play nice,
Yeah,
and that that makes us suffer. Speaking of Warnock, the people have spoken. They said, "Listen, we need y'all to fix this." And he said, in a statement that released on the AJC, he was like, "We need you to fix this voting right thing. These are the people now, because now the people are they're putting their voice out there. It's not just
right.
him saying, 'Hey, we're trying to fix it.' They want to know what's the problem." And he was like, "I don't know, pretty much. I'm saying the same thing. What's the problem?" And
What's the
I
problem?
feel like this race right here is going to show. It's going to show that people have more interest in politics than just the party lines, because I think a lot of people are starting to realize that these laws, they affect my family, right? And I've been saying this forever. Like, I'm always going to go with the laws and the regulations and the legislature that's going to benefit my family always. My family,
Right.
my friends. That's what I'm going to go with. I think
You
more
would
people
think.
are well, yeah, but that's not the case, because people vote along party lines a lot of times for all the wrong reasons. And so if you took a step back and say, okay, this is why this is important to me, you'll see that you might be leaning a little bit to the other side. So the people are starting to speak up. And if you look at that article on AJC, they want answers. They want things to get done. And I feel like that's gonna mean a lot at the polls for real this year
Yeah.
in
One of the
2022.
best things I had to do when I was in college was it was a national government class, and we had to first of all we had to pick a side. We had to pick either Democrat or Republican, and then we had to read up on it, and then we had to debate it. And so we had to read the platforms. I, as a Democrat, I chose Republican because
Hmm.
obviously I can debate, but I chose the Republican platform, read up on it, then I had to support it. I had to debate it. But what that did was it kind of opened my eyes to to understand that one, I've never read their platform. And to be and at that time, to be totally honest, I never read the Democrat platform. And
Mm.
so I say that to say, if people remove these, oh, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, I'm an independent, if they remove those titles and sit down and read the platforms and then vote on the platform that you most align with, remove all the rhetoric, because right now it's so much rhetoric that if you walk up to a person and say, "Oh yeah, I'm a Republican," or "Yeah, I'm a Democrat," and you ask them what is the platform, not the talking points that you're hearing on TV and on Fox News, what is the actual platform?
Derek,
They don't
explain
even
to
know.
people what that is. First, I want to say good morning to Anthony A.D. Walker. He just gave us a shout out. Good morning, Anthony. Thanks for
Good
joining
morning
us this morning.
or
Um,
afternoon, depending on where
Afternoon, right?
you're
Afternoon.
at.
Can you tell the people? Because I think one of the biggest things I find when it comes to politics is that people just don't understand the lingo, the language. When you say platform, what exactly do you mean by that? Because I think that's going to help people understand what they should be looking at.
All right. So to break it down in common terms, where if I was talking to a kid, uh, a party's platform is like the if you're in college is like the syllabus for for that class. So the platform is like the syllabus for that party. If you was in grade school, I would say that's like the instructions, or the guide or the study guide for that test. If you're getting ready to take a test, your final kids are getting ready for final exams all over the country. Party platforms is like the study guide for that final exam. The final exam is the election. And so now you go do your research and you go pull that study guide. And now you read the questions and answers. What are they standing on? What morals? If you believe that abortion should be a right allowed to women, then you look for the party that supports that. If you believe that is not, then you look for that party that supports that. But people are just so caught up on what they hear on the news, what they see on CNN, Fox News, and I mean, we both fall guilty of being heavily, left or right, that we don't find time to make things work in the center, and that's why we have so much roadblocks and like just not no movement in government. Period. And I say government, that's federal, state, local, because we all to the left, all to the right. When how about we focus on the things that we can agree on first, and then those other things, once you get all the common denominator items out of the way first, then you have time to go back and discuss those things that you're very polarizing on, and see how you can make it work. But to make it quick, the answer is the platform is the syllabus, the study guide, the instruction roadmap of each party. And I promise you, a lot of these people who claim they are Republicans, oh, I'm a Republican, this and that, if they read some of the Republican stances and then they turn around and read the Democrat stances, I promise you a lot of them will be voting a different way, especially the uneducated, the unincome white people that continue to vote Republican, that's voting against their the things that they're benefiting from. They vote Republican, but yet they go spend that stimulus check. They vote Republican, but yet they go, well, hell, they own Social Security.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
just so many things that they vote against, that if all that was stripped based on the Republican Party, they would be very hurt.
Hey Al,
You
thanks for
know.
joining us today. We got Al Catino joining us too, Derek. So I just want to thank you for joining us and
Hey
tuning in.
Al,
You know
drop in
what's
the
great?
chat. Drop in the chat where you're located at.
Yeah, where you guys are located at? That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Anthony. I think now let me ask you this because I feel like when it's time for people to vote, right? I don't feel that they know where to go look for this platform at because they see they're inundated with TV ads, Facebook
Yeah.
ads, all these ads that are all over just saying, hey, this is why you should vote for me. But where do they go look for the platform? Is it the candidate's job to put the platform in front of them, or should they take the initiative? Because me personally, I go out and I look for it, right? But that's you and
Well, I
I
think
and,
it's a
people like us. But people, everyday people who just like, I'm just going to vote along the lines that I voted because my family voted that way. If they
yeah.
really
See,
if they really want to understand this, Is it the candidate's job to really educate them, or is it their job to go out and look for that information themselves?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. Um, we as voters should be up to date or up to breast of what's going on. When we cast our vote. One, and then two, candidates should be reaching out to the public, the voters, and making sure that we are aware of what's going on or the information. But I also and information in this day and time is at the fingertips. Sometimes information is not the correct information, but it's there. A simple Google search of Democrat Party platform will bring up the platform, or just go to the Democrat Party, U.S. Democrat Party, and go to their actual website. Same thing with the Republican. Go to the Republican actual party, Google the Republican Party, and go to their actual website and read their platforms. And then, in this day and age, you have computers where you can split the screens.
Mm-hmm.
Have one side, the other side, and then go read and check off. Okay, I agree with that. I don't agree with that. If you find yourself in the center of some of those things, then you need to find a candidate that you believe will most likely provide more or what you fall in line with. And I promise you, if Americans actually voted based on those principles, then the electorate would be totally different. But we all voting on emotions. My grandma voted this way, so I'm gonna vote this way. Is and it's ridiculous. And it's just horrible in this day and age. We read about it. We heard about it during the last election with a lot of Trump's voters that voted for Trump in 16 was questioning some of the things that he was did that negatively affect them. But it wasn't enough, because at the end of the day, although I'm voting against my was what's best for me. um, I like the fact that he stood up for the First Amendment, so I can say crazy things that I like. So I'm gonna vote for him anyway. I can go storm the Capitol and not get any consequences. I like that, so I'm gonna vote for him anyway. You know,
Yeah.
and,
But that says a lot about those people, right? And I'm not calling
right,
anybody anything. I'm just saying it just says a lot about who they are.
it says a
Um,
lot.
speaking of ridiculousness, Joe Manchin, he said nope. I saw him on Bill Maher one night, right? He
Yeah.
said I don't know where I fit at. I don't know if I spit on. I don't know if the Republicans will have me or the Democrats. He said he didn't know where he fit because he was against the Republicans on one side and against the Democrats on the other side. Yet he's not an independent. It was hilarious, but he was honest. Like I don't know where I fit. I don't know who wants me, and now we know why because we trying to build back better, and he's saying I'm not voting for that.
Yeah, Senator Joe Manchin is he's one of the ones I was talking about that is so stuck to the left that he refused to see the better good of coming together. So this is although it's a Democrat bill, it has some form of bipartisan support. And you know, when you at the top, when you the president of the United States, you're not the president of Democrats. You're the president, or are you not the president of Republicans? You're the president of the United States. So there will be some things in there that you may not automatically agree on, but you got to give some to take some. And Joe Manchin is this may be a little harsh, but he's no worse or no better than Mitt McConnell.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah, that's a little
when
harsh. That's a little
yeah,
harsh.
when you're sitting there and you're holding up legislation over over something that could be addressed if you put it out there. But he's grandstanding, and I just wish he will, you know, find a way to be able to work with the majority of his colleagues. You know, that's why voting matters, though. Right now we're 50-50 with the tiebreaker with the vice president, and so we need more people in office, more Democrats in office, or just vote. We need more people in office that will support the agenda of getting us back, getting America back, build back better, you know, because the pandemic done caused a lot of issues, a lot of pain, and a lot of hurt financially to a lot of Americans, and we're trying to build it back, as well as the infrastructure. That's great. So we're actually building back, and then we're trying to build back financially, and you know I'm just not understanding his pushback, because if you notice, the only time we talk about the debt, or raising the debt, is when a Democrat is in office.
Mm. So if this bill is not passed, how does that affect the American people? Because right now, I know that there are a lot of people just kind of sitting, waiting. And for instance, I'll talk to a young lady who was supposed to be getting, I guess, the child care credit or something, that she did not get it, and she's waiting for the bill to be passed because now she's owed like back child care credit money. And but if that bill does not pass, how will it affect like the American people?
Well, it'll affect the ones that still, struggling, paycheck to paycheck. Uh, but I'm probably the wrong one to ask about that, because I feel like in some situations, a lot of situations, personal responsibility plays a lot too. Because if you think about the amount of monies that has been available and given away over the course of the last, what, 2 years, um, not trying to say you should be financially stable, but hopefully you're not. I mean, you're better off than where you were at the beginning of the pandemic. uh, but I just, me personally, I try to have some empathy for people who, because financial literacy is a major issue. Just because you have money doesn't mean you know how to properly use money.
Hmm.
Because, like I say, the amount of money, and with a lot of things about the rent moratorium and all this and that, the amount of money that's paid off if you paid your rent, while that money was for you to pay your bills, and if you paid those bills, then hopefully you wouldn't be in a situation where now you're waiting on more money from the government, where now any money that comes from the government is an additional blessing versus a I need it type situation. So that's
You know, there were a lot of people, Derek, and I totally hear what you're saying. Speaking of financial literacy, be sure to tune in to Wise Women Invest every Wednesday at 1 p.m., at 6 p.m., at 7 p.m., 7 p.m. every Wednesday live,
Eastern.
um, Eastern Standard Time. In my second life, I got like nine, but in my second one, I'm a financial advisor, and we do Wise Women Invest every Wednesday at 7 p.m. There were a lot of people. You said something that was very key. You said financial literacy, and I feel like, there are a lot of people who did not understand that money should. Now, you would think that when they got unemployment, when they got PPP and all these different things, that they would say, you know what, let me take this money and put it somewhere so that I can make sure that if something happens, I'm good. A lot of people did not do that. I know that
Right.
there is a gentleman right now. He's a single father of 4 kids, and he is praying that they don't lift the rent. What is it? What is it? Moratorium?
Moratorium. Well, it's already lifting in most places.
Well, I think they extended it though here in
Oh,
Georgia,
okay.
and
Okay.
so he's praying that they don't lift it anytime soon, because if they do, he's screwed, because he did not, do what he was supposed to do. And I feel that, and I get it. He's a single parent trying to raise four small kids, not like four big kids, four little kids, seven, I
Right.
think 5 to like 11. So he's praying that doesn't happen. And so even though he was working, I still don't feel like he was, he handled his financial situation to the best of his ability. But that's because maybe he didn't know how to do that. And
Right.
so, you know,
And I
financial
feel
literacy
like
is
I
what.
feel like one of the when the government is giving out these stimulus and these different funds, some type of financial literacy should be attached to that. Some type of financial planning should be attached to that. Um, now I understand if you're already in a hole, and now all this, but at some point, although you in a hole, at some point you should be able, at least be able to get to out of the hole and at least level where now, you know, now you're all caught up on your bills, and now eventually you should be, because again it's 350 a child if I'm not mistaken, if you are getting the monthly child credit. But then the different stimulus checks, I want to say over the course of the 2 years, we I think it's been almost $10,000 worth of stimulus checks,
Wow.
stimulus payments, depending on how many kids you have, obviously, that
Hmm.
makes a difference. But uh, using your example of 4 kids, uh, each stimulus check was definitely, 5, 6 thousand.
Mm.
Just talking and estimate off the top of my head. And then if there was unemployment, if you was getting unemployment when they was doing the $600 additional, if you was getting unemployment in Georgia, that was almost $1,000 a week.
Mm.
Actually, the unemployment in Georgia, and a lot of other states, but I'm just using Georgia because that's where we live at. But unemployment in Georgia, a lot of people was making more money on unemployment than they were actually working on the job.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
so if
Well.
you was getting $1,000 a week, and I want to say that lasted for at least 13, 14, 15 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's let's say 13 weeks. That's $13,000. And in between that $13,000, you got 2 stimulus checks. So uh, I have empathy for the people who are still in a situation, but I also feel like there need to be some form of personal responsibility. Because we all make decisions, and all decisions have consequences, whether they're good or bad. Uh, I say from a government standpoint, instead of you just throwing money out to a situation, that's like putting a band-aid on there. What's the issue? Fix the problem. And if the problem is financial literacy, then you need to make sure that when you are giving out these funds, that there's some type of financial planning attached to it. Because like all the programs, if you're trying to buy a house, you have to, and this is a first-time buyer program, and if you're trying to get government assistance or government grants, you have to go through these programs in order to get the grant. But yeah, they'll do that for down payment, 10, $15,000 lump sum, or for the FHA, 200, $300,000 loan, but they won't do it to you for a three, four, $5,000 stimulus check. Like,
Mhm.
it needs to be, that's my center, me coming over to the center and saying, okay, I agree with parts of what you're saying about, oh, it's a handout. Well, it's not a handout, it's assisting them. But I do agree that it need to be some type of oversight when it comes down to making sure that people know what this money is for. You know, uh, this is not a free go buy TV type thing.
Go buy some Jimmy shoes, because I
Right.
always want a pair of Jimmy shoes. So I'm gonna go get me a pair with
Right.
this 1400. I can't even see that. I can't even
And
see.
you have to be mindful. You have to be disciplined,
Yeah.
because just like I'm saying, we had to take personal responsibility. You have to be out there that, as they call them, vultures, predators. But the retail market is, I mean, their job is to advertise. And so
Hmm.
I noticed that a perfect example, we're not going to call one out because they don't want to get sued, but I noticed that one particular store, they never said, oh, stimulus sale or this is sale, but all of a sudden, a 75-inch TV is $500. And they got TVs all over the place. Like, is this Black Friday in March? So I mean, all that is they know people are getting this money, these stimulus checks when they was coming out, and so now they putting sales out, and you have to be disciplined. Do you need this TV? I had to keep telling myself, because I kept telling my wife, oh man, they got this TV. I think I told you several times, man, they
Yeah.
got this TV, they got this
Yeah.
TV. But then it had, it come down to, do I really need it? And just because you have the money does not mean you can afford
Yeah. That
it.
is true. And my husband was doing the same thing. He kept saying that. I was like, and see, they call me a black Jew. So I was like, we don't need that TV. And
Yeah,
my brother too, like, y'all need a bigger TV. That TV works fine. Because the TV
just
works fine. I don't
just
care about the
fine.
TV. Listen, when I go downstairs to eat my lunch and I turn the TV on and it plays, it's fine. I don't need
Fine.
to take up the entire wall over the fireplace. It's
Yeah.
fine. My brother, nah, but you need a big one. No, I don't. I do not need it. I remember going to Walmart. I was sitting in the car because I hate going into Walmart. And so if I don't have to go inside of Walmart, I don't go. So I'm sitting in the car waiting for my husband to come out. This guy come out, he had two 75-inch TVs. I'm talking about he was pushing the cart. I'm looking like he had two. Well, I want to say, sir, what you gonna do both of them TVs?
I didn't see one guy try to shove a 70, 80-inch TV in the back of a convertible, TV sticking all the way up. It just, but that's what, once we get past those, enticing things and just focus, people need to be on a budget, just like business. If you budget your house and put money aside, you know, when situations like this come about, then hopefully you won't be in a situation where you're as soon as the moratorium is lifted, now you have to find you a place to stay.
Yeah.
And then, in my opinion, that still go back to personal responsibility. You ain't paid your rent, and the moratorium is coming to an end, and have no intentions of paying that rent. How about you start looking for somewhere else to go?
Yeah.
How about you start making arrangements? Don't,
Yeah.
I hate the fact when they come at the last minute and act like they were surprised when it's like you wasn't caught off guard about this. You knew, like, plan ahead. You're not going to pay, find you somewhere else where you can pay.
And especially when you look at where we are politically, like you got one party and you got some people in the party that said, you know what, we don't want to give it to you at all. Right. So there could be a strong chance that Build Back Better never passed. It could be a chance. So what are you going to do? Like, you have to be prepared. You can't set yourself up for failure. You got to set yourself up for success. And the way to do that is to be prepared. And the way to be prepared is to go out there and learn the things you don't know. I talk about this probably every day on the show, on the Good Morning Gwinnett show, because prime example, when they first started handing out them stimulus check, people lost their minds. They quit their jobs that they hated. They was like, I'm done. I'm not going back. I made $5.25 an hour, especially in Georgia. I didn't even know. I thought it was $7.15 or $7.25 nationally. Not here in Georgia though. No. And I was like, what? Anyway, people lost their minds. They're like, I'm not going back. I don't care what you say. And they didn't. And some people took the time to say, you know what? I want to start something new. I want to learn something new. But then there were those who didn't do anything except for shop and lose their mind. Here we are a whole 2 years later. You're right back in the same boat. We don't know if this bill is going to pass, right? Because of people like Manchin who said, nope, I don't want to. So if any Republicans decide to jump off ship, it won't pass. Even though Kamala is there to break the tie, there may not be a need to break the tie because it may not be a tie. If two more come over to the other side, there is no bill. And so there's nothing we can do about that. So you need to prepare yourself for what's coming down the pike. And here's the thing. You want to get out there and do the research. Stop wasting all that time on your phone playing games and scrolling on Instagram and TikTok. You better try to figure out what's going to happen with your finances in your future, because we just don't know right now. And I think that's where, like you said, there's empathy, but you got to be smart too. You got to think out, you got to think beyond the material things that hold no value. Really, they hold no value. Like, I get it. You want a 75-inch TV. I get it. You want to see the game better. I'm going to watch football as soon as I get finished. As soon as I get finished, I'm going to go in my room and watch football. Right, but it is not on a 75-inch, and it's not because I can't get one. I don't need it. Like, I can see the TV fine at 50 inches. I just can, So, so you know what I'm saying, Derek? And so, I give you another prime example. My uncle and I were talking this morning, and so I was telling him it's that time of the year where they want to give you the phones. I said to my uncle, so Verizon's keep trying to give me this phone, so my phone is paid off. I said to my uncle, Verizon keep trying to give me this phone. They keep saying I get an $800 discount. Well, how much is the phone?
Yeah.
How much is the freaking phone if you don't give me an $800 discount?
The phone $1,500. Yeah.
I was like, he was laughing. He was like, yeah, it must be $1,200. I don't know how much it is, but my phone still can text. It still rings when somebody can call me.
I'm in the same boat.
Like, I'm not. So to me,
I may miss a couple of calls though, but that's how I leave a message.
Yeah, leave a message. Like, leave a message. So, we are in an interesting time. And this election year coming up is going to be one for the probably for the records, like 2020 was, because that was one for the records. That was history. We're going to be in that
Yes.
same space again in 2022. And so Derek and I will continuously bring political leaders on and political hopefuls on to talk about their platforms, and so
Yeah.
you can understand, what they're running for. Why should you vote for them? And this is your opportunity to come in and share your comments and ask your questions when we do this show every Sunday at 1 o'clock. So,
Yes, because our goal is to make sure that we have educated and informed voters, progressive voters, being that this is a progressive show. But our goal is to make sure that we have educated and and informed voters. And the list that we put out this morning, or this at the beginning of the show, is our confirmed list. We are actually working on a whole. We're planning to have someone every week leading up to the primaries in May, and then going into November. We want to, we want to have everybody that's on the ballot in your area, and if there's someone that you would like for us to reach out to, shoot us an email, shoot us a message, and say, hey, reach out to this candidate. Or if you're a candidate and you are already an elected official and you would like to use our platform to get your message out, please do not hesitate to reach out to us as well. Our website, popcornandpolitics.com, and that's and popcornandpolitics.com, or you can always email rg at noisemedia.us, because we're trying to make sure that we have informed voters, that know when they go to the poll, they, oh, I heard about this candidate at on this podcast, and I went to their website and I searched them and researched them, and they answered my questions. That's our goal. Our goal is to make sure that we have informed voters. And so uh, next week we may be having a whole nother list of more names that we have. Believe me when I say we're actively working on getting uh, our elected officials as well as our candidates on this show to talk to you all and answer you all questions. So please chime in, send your questions, because we're ready. And I think they're ready too.
that's right. They're ready. So listen, guys, that's all we got for you today. We'll be back again next Sunday at 1 p.m. That's the day after Christmas. So I know you guys got to finish shopping. I got to tell y'all something. I was in a store the other day. I got to tell you before I go, Derek, I went to this store. That's why I don't like Christmas shopping in person. It's like Black Friday to me. I go to the store and I didn't want to go, but I went anywhere. I went to the store and I stood in line for 45 minutes.
Mm.
I was in the line thinking of all the things I could be doing right now other than standing in the line for 45 minutes. And then, you don't want to be ignorant, right? But you see people just come and start talking to people so they can cut the line. So it's
Yeah.
like we looking like this, like you better not. And I kept seeing people come in from the, hey, how you doing? They stopped right there with all this stuff. And it was a girl in front of me and she was pregnant. I said to myself, I know she's not gonna let him in, because we had been standing in that line for a long time. And the line was just like curved around, and then you had to go all the way around and then go. I was like, oh my God. So anybody who didn't get anything, I love you. I do.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love you.
Well, see, so lucky for me, I guess we must have started early, because we didn't have no, we didn't experience these long lines. I don't even think, did we go out Black Friday? I don't think. Well, we probably did, but the lines weren't as long as you was talking, as you saying. We went in, got what we got, left, and I don't like lines either. So, uh, Maria tell you, if a line too long, I leave. You know what?
Me
Yeah, I'm
too.
not. I'm
But I
not
had
doing
these,
it.
and it wasn't Black Friday. It was this Friday just passed. It wasn't even Black Friday. So my husband and I was like, let's go out, let's go shopping. So he said, okay. I said, okay, great. Derek, I was like, Lord have mercy, the line was long.
But
And
sometimes
so
you got to travel for what you want. Like,
I
I'm
did
not.
travel.
I haven't been going like I haven't been going lately. I haven't been going to the malls. Like,
That's where I went. I went
I
to the mall.
nah, it's too much.
I
Too
went
not
to the
see now. See
mall.
that. See now. That's where you messed up at.
Yep. I went to
It's
the
too many
mall.
people. I've been
Yep.
traveling. I've been traveling an hour or two to go to an outlet. That have the stores I'm looking for. That go to the outlet, and that line's not as long, because it's a little smaller town. And I've been shot, but we've been killing it up.
Well, you know what? Maybe that's what I'm gonna have to do, because I totally went to the mall and I was saying to myself, Lord have mercy, why did I do this? And I only had 4 things to get, and I still wound up missing one because I was like, it's too many people, it's too much stuff. And I was like, I'm not gonna get it. So I text my brother, like, listen, I'm gonna need you to, because he likes to shop. He goes to the mall all the time. Like, hey, I'm gonna need you to pick this one up for me, because 1, I don't know what to get for real because they're so picky. And 2, I'm ready to get out of this store. So anyway,
I go to the mall all year round except Christmas time.
Well, I'll know next year not to do that, because
I love the outlets though. I mean, again, I don't believe in advertising people without payment. So I love that. I love the outlets, and if y'all listening, give us a call, and we'll definitely tell you what outlets I love.
True that. Listen, guys, that's all we got for you today. Thank you so much for joining us, and remember, stay safe out there. Stay safe out there, and enjoy your holiday. We'll be back again next Sunday, day after Christmas, to bring you more Popcorn and Politics. I'm your host, Audrey Bell Kearney, and you are?
I am Derek J. Wilson.
And until next time, my good friends, until next time, make it a great day and happy holidays. Bye, y'all.
You've been listening to Popcorn and Politics. What's the Real Deal? Hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney and Derek J. Wilson. Be sure to subscribe to the show and share it with your family and friends. To support the show, visit us on the web at www.popcornandpolitics.com. Connect with us on Facebook at Progressive Popcorn and on Instagram at Popcorn Politics Podcast.